Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how to find the perfect book at the right time. Cause who doesn't have problems finding a book when you don't know what to read? Once you begin a book, maybe you don't have the motivation to read it because you're not in the mood of reading that type of book of genre. So let's go into the video because I have some precious tip I will share with you. How did I choose this topic? It's really hard for me to find the book I want, and I really said, okay, I got the idea when I was fast asleep, and I think that's the best time when you have ideas, or in this case, YouTube video ideas, because I was just typing some random ideas of what I could do, and I was just like, when to find the right book, and that's how I came up with this idea. So I was really excited to do this one. Okay, it's really hard to find the right book at the right time. I have a theory. A book can be the greatest book ever, a bestseller, a book that the author has won millions of awards. But if you are not in the mood about reading that kind of book, you can end up saying that that book is bad or not that good, but in reality it's you that doesn't felt like reading that type of book at that right moment, because or at least I read books that I feel like reading at that moment, and also it has happened to me that when I read a book and I do not end up finishing it because I say to myself, this book is not it. But after a while I try to read that again and I'm like, wow, this book is really good. And I was not expecting that because I had the idea that that book was bad because I was not in the mood about reading that stuff, or I was thinking about other stuff and was not paying attention to that. But in reality, it was not like that. It was all in my head and my emotions getting in the way of the book. Okay. I'm gonna give you an example because I really like that series. I began to read The Cruel Prince, and then I was not feeling like it because I don't know, I was not feeling about reading fantasy. But then I read that again, like after a month or something like that, and I was in love with the series. Not only the book. I was like obsessed with the series, and now I'm like, I love the series. But at the beginning it was not like that. Definitely not like that. But that's why I say you have to find the right book at the right time, because it's not the fault of the book, it's the fault of yourself, of your emotion. Okay, it's not a fault exactly. It's more like, yeah. If you have no clue, no idea of what to read, you can ask a friend or a family member or someone you trust, or you know what? Some stranger in the street. I'm kidding. But yeah, some stranger can give you some recommendations about they personally like. Maybe you find it interesting, but maybe not. So you can ask a person, just a person. Or even in the internet, you can ask someone in a club or something like that. Second tip, you can create a reading list. You know those TikToks about recommendations of books? Those are the best, because if you write the books you're interested in or catch your attention in that moment, it's most likely you want to read them in the future, and you will find them in your reading list right there because you collected them throughout the years. Okay, maybe you will be a collector of books, of titles of books, but you have the idea of what you want. Like, for example, a TikTok that says enemies to lovers, or maybe sci-fi, something like that. It's like, oh, what do I want to read today? I want to read something interesting, or something more dramatic, or something more sad, or some fantasy. You can read the books of your favorite writers, or books related to those books. You can look out for other books that that person published, or some related book that are from the same or fast the same topic. Or you can join a club. Those are really useful because I have found in those club books that I didn't know they existed. They are really interesting because some books are just left out, and maybe that person of the person that are in that club know more about those books than other person, because maybe they research more. And if you have a lot of brains thinking about recommendation, it's better because each one of them have different taste in books, so you can know another type of books. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but you get the idea. You can pick up a book that catches your attention. But okay, ask yourself, what are my interests? What type of books I like? What do I enjoy reading? Because the more you know what you want to read, or the more you know what you like to read, like in a pattern, you're more decisive of the books you choose whenever you're in a place that sells books. Or actually, I don't buy books, I download them, so I don't think that's illegal. So I got used to books online, but I know books in real life are better. Also, don't buy books in a bulk, because you will not end up reading those hundreds books you bought, because you're just gonna end up being frustrated about how many books you want to read and you haven't the whole year or month, and those are gonna be left out. Like, just buy the ones that you know you will read, and it will save you space and money and time and frustration. What? Don't finish books that you don't feel like continuing, because that's a bad idea, a terrible idea. If you don't feel like the book is gonna be enjoyable, better do not read it, because you will not feel great after reading that book, obviously, because you are just forcing yourself to do it. It's not bad to force yourself and to feel like you have to read it till the end, but it will be more enjoyable if you finish a book that you are craving to finish, instead of a book that you just don't feel like reading it anymore. You can go random, because you only live once, so go random and just pick a book off the shelf and take it and read it. I think most of the time, the best books that I have read are random. Like, I just picked them up randomly. I just told myself, okay, maybe the universe will hear my plea, and coincidentally, I will choose a book that is of my interest and will be choose at the right time, like in a mood to read that book. Yeah, finding the right book is really hard for a person who is undecisive and is struggling with something. Like, if you are mostly on a slump, on a depressed curve, or maybe you don't know what to read. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this video, because I really enjoyed talking about this topic and I really wanted to talk about it, so I just let that out right now, thankfully, and we'll see us next week.